Welcome to Terrifying Tales. The Spotter by C.J. Knight. The 24-hour gym, a few minutes' drive from home, was Jenna's sanctuary. To many it was nothing more than a single-storey concrete eyesore stuck in the middle of the town's shopping district. But to Jenna, it was beautiful. At 2 a.m, Jenna loved it even more. The shopping district was deserted. This included the gym. She had the whole place to herself. The sensor light above the entry door clicked on as she approached. She swiped her membership card against the access reader by the door. The warmth hit her immediately. Her smile formed naturally at the chorus of gentle music and the hum of the industrial lights above. There was no one in sight. No waiting for machines, no small talk, no stares, just metal, machines, and her own reflection in the mirrors covering the far wall. The other three walls were all windows looking out to the quiet darkness. Jenna adjusted her headphones and put on a familiar song. She placed her towel over her favourite bench in the middle and set her drink bottle down and racked the weight. Her body knew what to do. Her fingers curled around the bar. With each upward lift, her breath came out in a steady hiss. The smell of disinfectant and sweat hung in the air, oddly comforting. Midway through her second set, she paused. A faint click echoed through the gym, loud enough to carry over the music playing through her headphones. A distinct, familiar sound. It was the sound the door made when she hadn't swiped her access card correctly. The sound of the door being pushed while locked. She sat up slowly, eyes on the door as she pulled her headphones down. Silence. She stood, walking toward the front entrance, and looked out to the dimly lit street. She leaned forward, straining her eyes, searching. The sensor light outside clicked on. Jenna jumped back, her eyes still focused on the street. And then she saw it. The dark shape of a figure, standing just beyond the reach of the light. Perfectly still, not moving toward the door, just watching her. Jenna's stomach dropped. She couldn't make out a face, just a tall, dark shape, slightly hunched. Maybe a late-night walker? A lost driver? She waved cautiously. "Can I help you?" Silence. The figure remained still. Jenna's fingers curled around the handle of the door. She tugged, double-checking it was locked. Returning to the weight bench, Jenna told herself it was fine. Nothing happened. She chalked it up to nerves, or maybe an overactive imagination. People linger around places at night all the time. Maybe he was waiting for a lift. Still, Jenna kept her headphones off. 10 minutes later, she walked to the water fountain near the side exit to refill her bottle. Movement. This time on the far side of the building. The figure. He was still there. Outside the side windows, pacing slowly along the building, his hand tracing along the glass. Steady, calculated steps, following her movement inside. Jenna's heart raced in her chest. A chill crawled up her spine. As casually as she could, she walked to the front counter. She didn't want the figure to suspect what she was looking for. There was an emergency contact number taped to the counter. She dialed the number. No answer. Her fingers fumbled with the screen as she tried to dial the emergency service number. The call failed. She stared at the screen. The cell service and Wi-Fi connection were gone. Jenna looked up. The figure was at the front door, standing directly under the sensor light. She could just make out a pale face, slack and expressionless, head tilted. But it was what he held in his hand that drove terror through her heart. He lifted it once more. The blade of the knife kissed the glass. It was gentle, but deliberate. Jenna backed away. The main doors were thick, almost impossible to break. But this gym wasn't designed to be locked from the inside. She spent enough time staring at the fire plan posters on the walls during sets. Every access door opened outward. In the event of a fire or other emergency, the electronic locks were released. Jenna sprinted for the rear door, pushed the handle. It didn't budge. Her breath caught as her throat tightened. The industrial lights above flickered, then died. The gym was cloaked in darkness. Jenna remained still. The only sound, her ragged breaths. Then movement. Jenna's heart threatened to rip from her chest as she realised the movement wasn't outside. It was in the gym with her. Jenna ducked down behind a squat rack. The figure slipped across the far mirrored wall. He was in there with her. She didn't hear a door, didn't see or hear glass break, but somehow he was in here with her now, stalking, smooth, intentional. Jenna stifled a whimper and crawled toward the locker rooms, the only place with a lockable door. Her foot knocked a dumbbell. It rolled across the floor. Jenna froze, ears straining. Everything went still. Then heavy steps, fast, slapping the rubber flooring, closing in. Jenna sprinted into the change room, slamming the heavy door and locking it behind her. She pressed her ear to the door, listening. Silence. Jenna let out a sigh of relief and backed away from the door. Jenna's knees buckled. She sank to the floor. It wasn't coming from the door. It was coming from the metal lockers behind her. Jenna forced her eyes to look at the mirrors above the sinks. The figure was standing behind her. Even in the darkness, she could make out the blade of the knife. If you like what you heard, please give the video a like, and please consider subscribing to the channel.